Okay, we'll get started with Rob. First question for Rob. Start on the left side.
Rob, what did you see from the bats tonight and the last two nights? Was this more about the way Arizona attacked you, and what were the Diamondbacks able to do that these previous teams weren't this month?
Yeah, I think they pitched very well. And first of all, congratulations to Torrey and his staff and the Diamondbacks. That's a good club, and they really played well. And you come in this building and beat us twice in this type of atmosphere, you're doing some things right. So, but they pitched well. They really did. Fought. He backed it up what he did over in Arizona. He pitched well, and their bullpen did a great job. We had some opportunities, 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position, but that's baseball. That stuff comes and goes. But I'm proud of our guys. They never gave up. They fought like hell right till the end, and I'm proud of them. We're all disappointed, but they played hard, and that's all you can ask, really.
On the right side, towards the middle.
Rob, what do you think happened in this series with Nick Castellanos that he went from scorching hot to kind of the polar opposite of that?
That's Nick. I mean, he's you can't, from day to day, sometimes, he might strike out 3 times one day and hit 2 home runs the next. That's who he is. And it's just more about staying back and trying not to do too much. It's the same thing I say about him every day when he has a bad day. But he carried us there for a bit, and he's a really good hitter, and I'm glad he's on our side.
Marcus in the front left.
A couple things, Rob. Your 1 through 3 hitters, I think, were 1 for 18 the last couple of nights. I mean, your team is built to score in those spots. Can you address that? And there were several spots where you could move runners, fly ball scores from third, that sort of thing. It didn't seem like your situational hitting tonight, anyway, was where it needed to be.
Yeah, they pitched those guys really well, and that's the ebbs and flows of offense. It's. People aren't going to hit every single day of the season. It's just not going to happen. So, other guys got to pick it up. Other guys got to get it done, and you got to pass the baton and move people up and get people on base and put pressure on people. We had some people on base tonight. We just we couldn't get the big hit.
Down here in the front on the right.
With the bases loaded in the bottom of the 4th and you had Rojas up there, was there any thought of maybe pinch hitting with somebody or doing something?
Well, it was kind of like the situation last night, only this was earlier in the game. They had Mantiply up. So in order for me to get the right matchup, I would have had to use 2 players. Because I bring Cave in, they bring Mantiply, then I got to pinch hit for Cave. And in the 4th inning, we had the lead at the time. Taking your 2 out, taking your best defender out of the game, and wasting 2 players, I just didn't think that was the right time.
Paul on the left.
Rob, obviously, 2nd year in a row, a disappointing ending. Just how tough is that? What was the message you shared with the guys?
Just that, I'm proud of them, and those guys. They prepared and they competed every day this year, and we had to go through some tough times. We lost Reese in spring training, but they kept when we lost some pitchers during the course of the year, but they kept grinding and they kept fighting, and I'm proud of them for that. I'm proud of this group that our front office has put together because they're talented and they got great makeup and they're great to be around. I love them all, I really do. So it is disappointing, but. It's tough to get back to this position 2 years in a row. It is. But they fought like hell to get here. And, we came up short. And that's baseball sometimes.
You mentioned Reese. Obviously, I know you've been focused on the games and the World Series. But Reese and Nola, there's some decisions to make this offseason. They've been such a big part of this team, this core for a while. Yep. Just where do you guys go from here? And what do you say to those 2 guys on a night like tonight where you don't know what the future holds?
Yeah, I'm not really a part of that per se. So, but those guys are Phillies to me. They came up through the system and they've done some great things, not only on the field but in this city. And they've raised a lot of money for a lot of people. And and they're great people, and I love them. What happens in the future, I'm not sure, but I will stay in touch with them for sure.
Right in the middle on the left side.
Hey, Rob. A couple of things. One, you talked a lot about this group and getting back here, and so often teams are judged on do they win it all or do they not win it all. But with the playoff format being where it is now, do you view the last 2 seasons collectively as a sign that this team is built to win in October, having won so many series, or is it still just about are you getting that final out in the World Series?
Well, it's always about getting the final out in the World Series, but we're built for October because of our starting pitching, because of our offense, and we have a good bullpen. Now, sometimes those areas break down a little bit, but we've got a good ball club. But our goal isn't to get to the playoffs. Our goal is always to win the World Series.
In terms of Zach Wheeler and what you got out of him tonight, take me through when you made that decision, what that conversation was like, and what you were looking to get from him.
That he was going to pitch tonight? That was last night after the game, and he came in and he said, "I'm all in on tomorrow. This is my side day." And I said, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Absolutely, I'm all in." So, he got to about the 30 pitch mark, and that's like his bullpen number. So then you take the intensity of the game and the 3 ups and add, so that's probably more pitches than 30. And I didn't want to take him any further because I don't want to hurt that guy.
In the middle.
Rob, where do you think the momentum in this series kind of switched? Because through the first 2 games, it felt like you had all of it.
You'd probably say the first 2 games in Arizona, but then we won Game 3 in Arizona. So, probably the fact that they got the lead in the first game back here probably changed the momentum a little bit. They started to run a little bit, started to put pressure on us, and they started playing their game, and they did a good job with that. So I'm not exactly sure, but it did change.
We'll take 2 last ones for Rob on the left side of the middle.
Coming into this playoff, a little different than last year when you were the 6th seed and kind of playing with house money to some degree. How do you feel like the weight of the pressure or the expectations, particularly after you guys went up 2-0 in the series, affected the team?
I don't think it affected us at all, really. Truthfully, I think these guys were laser focused on every day coming to the ballpark, not really thinking about where we were at in the series, whether we were up, we were down. These guys are really a focused club, and they really think day to day as opposed to long term. So I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Finish up with Marcus in the front.
Rob, last year was kind of a fairy tale. You guys kind of came out of nowhere. You were the 6th seed, and you lose in Houston to a kind of a dynastic team. But this year you were the higher seed. You had a 3-2 lead, and you lost the last 2 at home. A round shorter than last year. Does it hurt a little bit more? Is it more of a gut punch considering there were kind of expectations this time and it happened here?
Yeah, it's very disappointing. It really is. And I told the club, if you asked me 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, if we'd be going home tonight, I would have said no. So that's how much belief I have in this club. So it's very disappointing. But our clubhouse, those guys, they have nothing to be ashamed of because they played their asses off all year for us.
All right, Rob, thanks very much to you. Thank you to your club for everything the last few weeks.
Thank you.